Hello everyone, in this tutorial I will show you how to create a movie file from a sequence of images, so-called time-lapse video. And we're going to achieve this with a completely free software which is available for Windows, Macintosh and also for Linux. So all areas are covered. This is the website you should go. The latest version of this software is 2.79b. I'm not sure how this front page is going to look like when you're going to see this video, so the best thing is to go to the download page. We are not going to deal with the 2.8 beta. I am going to create a different tutorial for that one because it has got a different interface, and the mouse works in a different way, more conventional way on that one, in line with the other operating systems. So just download the version what you require and install the software and start it up. Once the software is started, this is what you see. Go up here, click on that little icon next to the default, click on video editing. On this one we can create, we can keep this one. Have a look at that little lines in the corner. Click with the left mouse button and drag it to the right. And now you can see that window is actually duplicated. So now we're going to change what shows in this section. So we're going to change that one to a properties. So now we have the properties and this so-called graph editor. That's going to be later on important if we add a sound file to the video. We can drag here and drag this one out here. So we got three little window section here. This one is the sequencer part of it, and this is the play. That's the playhead, which is moving there. This one shows the seconds and the number of frames. Currently it is set to 24 frames per second, so each second will require 24 frames. If you change that for 30, for example, then it's going to be 30 frames for a second. You can see this one shows you the current frame where the playhead is, and this is the actual length of the sequence of the video, which you can see up here as well. So let's add the images what we want to use as a time-lapse video. We can create here, click on add and then image. I am going to navigate to my solo shot sequences. As you can see, I got only the file names and I have multiple images here, and I may not want to include that. So it's as you can see, 69 and 70 is actually a different image sequence. So I'm going to click on the first one and scroll down. I'm probably not going to add all of it, so the creation is not going to take that long. And let's add this one as the last one. To select all the images between this one and the first selected one, you have to press down the Shift key and the Control key or the Command key on the Mac. So Shift and Control, hold it down and click on this image. So everything in between is selected. So if I move back to the list, you can see that all that is actually selected in between, but nothing after. So add image strip, and as you can see, it's actually not at the start because I already clicked. Now with this software, with the right mouse, you actually selecting, right mouse click, you're selecting things, left mouse click is moving, sorry, the right mouse, hold it down on the selected item and drag it, and then let the right mouse go, it's still gonna move it. As you can see, I can drop it on any channel and just drop it there. You can see the number in front of it that shows that's where the first image is at that frame, and with the left mouse I click, that lets it go. Now I still didn't put it there, so I'll show you the other way of moving this thing about. So here you can see you can move it between the channels, and there you can see the first frame is on the 27, and so move it back to the front. We type in 1, and that also puts it to the beginning of the sequence. So as you can see, this is 250, 1 to 250, so the whole sequence did not fit. So I can see that the images what I have for this movie is 328. So I just go here or here. It's the same. You can change it in either way to 328. Enter it, and now as you can see, it's from the front to the end. If you want to see a bigger view, then just scroll with the scroll button. You just hover the mouse over the window and then just scroll, and it's gonna do the same thing. And the middle mouse, hold it and drag it, you can move it. The same thing you can. So that's the player, as you can see it, and that moves in frames, and that brings it back to the front. And we're practically ready, nearly ready to export this. Now we can set up our video output. We are going to use a full HD size, 24 frame, and we're going to set up the video file. These are for images, these are for the videos. So I'm selecting MPEG. I changed the encoding to, not that one, not this one. The container I wanted to change to MPEG-4, and the codec I leave was H.264. Medium quality, medium speed. Now, if you don't plan to add sound, then practically you could do the rendering from here, but you would have to first define where you want to put that file. So let's just save this file first. Save as. So I'm just gonna save the file back where that was. So 3D print test, and so I've got now this one done, and I'm going to save the file back there to the same place. That was pictures, and I can put it here as well. 3D time lapse, and accept it. So now it's going to give this name to the file, and it's going to put it into this folder. So now practically you can click on animation, and your video will be rendered into a video file, and you can play it back from there. If you're just happy with that, after the rendering finish, which is going to take a couple of minutes, you could play it with the played rendered animation, or you just open up that folder and open the file and play it. Now, if you want to add an audio to this, which probably most of you would, there are two choices. You can put an audio file into this. Either you can drag it straight from the folder into here, or you do the add again. So, but this time we're adding a sound. So let's find music, whatever. That one, let's see, that one, just add it. And as you can see, the length of the audio is stretching across 8,812 frames, but we only want to play it to 328. So practically what we do here is type in the 328. So now it's only stretching as long as our video file is. Now as you can see, again, we can move it between the channels, but if you move it to the first channel, it's going to add it to the back of it. So just make sure that when you do that, you're on a separate channel. Now, you need to, of course, change the volume. Some will be loud, some is not going to be loud enough. So here you can change the volume. The 1 is actually representing 100%, so 0.5 represents 50%. If you put it to 2 or 2, that's 200%, so doubling the volume, or 1.5 to 50% increase on the volume. So you would probably test this. And then you could then change that to whatever volume you want. Now, if you want to ramp up the volume from 0 to, so it's not a sudden jump into the full blast, then or fade it out at the end, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you just go to the frame where the fading is going to come in. So let's see, we've got 13 seconds. Move the playhead here, and we add a frame, a keyframe. So this volume, we keep it at 1. So that's the full volume, or whatever you set before. Then you just right click on that one, insert keyframe, and then you have a keyframe now. Now this is coming to play. As you can see, this is the curves, the graph editor, because this is where you can move around things and how that curve, how the volume is going to change. Now I'm going to the last frame, which I can actually type here as well. You can move with that, or just type the number. Last one, and I'm going to click in the volume and put it to 0. Enter, and then right click on this and insert keyframe. Now we got a keyframe here, and we don't see it because we are at this. So as you can see, we added a keyframe here, here, and the volume will start to decrease at that point. And as you can see, it's like a gradual kind of decrease. So after this, practically you are ready for the compile. We already prepared everything. One more thing we did not prepare, how the sound is going to be created. So we select audio encoder. I'm selecting MP3. Bitrate is alright, and practically we are ready to create our animation or the movie file. So I'm clicking this button, clicking on this button. Before I do that, I just save it and click on animation. As you can see, that's outputting into that window. I'm just scrolling it down so I can see it. I'm going to stop the video so this speed things up a bit. It is just about finished, and it is done. I can put this one back into by clicking the render and show the hide render view. It's going to put the sequencer back into view, and if you want to see the video what you created, is here, but it's gonna pop up in my other screen. Anyway, better if I show it to you with the normal player, which I have full control of. And the file is here, 3D time lapse. I'm just going to run it with one of my players. Okay, so this is, as you can see, and go to the end, the fading. As you could hear, it was fading out. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.